Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law. Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You're going to help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
In the matter of Tyree Miller versus Simon Ralph, you're suing him for $6,000 for unpaid wages from a boxing contract. Well, really not wages, but unpaid money, because you didn't work for it. Well, wages from a boxing contract. The defendant, your defense is, I don't owe him anything more. I provided the exposure and other compensation. Well, let me see what the judge has to say, and I will say it after I hear from you, starting with you, Mr. Miller.
Hi, Judge. So my name is Tyree Miller. Pretty much, I'm a backyard boxer. I'm from Miami-Dade, Florida, and I got into boxing because, you know, the area I grew up in was pretty rough. I used to like run the streets, robberies, selling drugs. I went to jail a few times, actually. And one of my closest friends that I was hanging around, he actually went to do a home invasion and got shot and killed. So, you know, that kind of spooked me, and immediately I felt like I had to, you know, find a different path in life. And so, you know, just out of nowhere, I started, you know, boxing.
Well, I want to commend you for finding a new path in life.
I'm trying.
Yes, it was time, and I'm glad that you learned the lesson and that you learned from your mistakes and changed your ways. So many young people, even older folks, see all of that, experience it, know it, but still keeps doing the same old thing. So I'm glad you learned that if I keep doing the same thing, I'm gonna get the same results, but let me do something differently. So I applaud you for that.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, I was just trying to, you know, find a different path in life because I seen a lot of people that came from my neighborhood just heading in the wrong direction.
Right.
And I didn't want to keep being on that path. So, you know, there was this dude in my neighborhood that, you know, we ended up getting into it and we just fought in my backyard. My brother was recording it and he posted it on social media.
You had a fight, you was talking a little too fast for me.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we got in a fight and it was
in the backyard?
Yeah, in the backyard.
A real fight?
Yeah, a real fight with this dude that used to bully me in high school. And my brother was recording it and he posted it on Instagram and it got like a few million views. And so from that point on, people started, you know, showing up to the house and, you know, paying $20 just to come see us fight. And
you and the same guy?
Oh, no. Different people started challenging me. And so it's just been different people. And people show up every time paying $20 to get in.
So people would come and challenge you to fight?
Like Instagram, they would probably come in person sometimes, just different things.
Really?
Yeah, and so that's what I've been doing for the past 3 years, and that's how I take care of myself, my family.
How you get paid?
Yeah, people, they pay $20 to get in the different fights, just to see us.
People come to your house to see you fight somebody, and they pay $20 for you to fight somebody in the backyard?
Yeah, and we fight at different, like, social media mansions and
social media mansions?
Yeah, like influencer houses and stuff.
There are social media mansions?
There are. There's a lot of money on social media.
Set up just for people to fight and do other things?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my God.
So that's what I've been doing the past few years.
And that's legal?
This is where the courtroom tension quietly spikes. Backyard fighting exists in a legal gray zone outside state athletic commissions, but not always explicitly illegal. The judge isn't ruling on legality here. She's flagging risk. And risk matters, because it explains why contracts must be crystal clear. When you're operating outside traditional systems, paperwork becomes your protection. Tyree admits he's working with limited options, which makes him more vulnerable, not less deserving. This raises an important question for viewers. Should informal fighters be held to professional standards when promoters are clearly profiting from them?
It's legal for us, I guess.
I mean, but you rent the mansions and people know that it's going to be a fight and you're going to have people to come and watch it like it's a prize fight in the backyard, but it's, instead of an arena, it's somebody's yard.
Exactly. And, you know, usually we have to fight in the backyards because of my criminal history in my past. A lot of gyms in my city, they don't let me box there. So I have to, you know, I just had to work with what I had.
So you aware of this, Will?
I've seen things like this on the internet before. It's obviously not like a, there's state sporting commissions that sanction fighting, and this is outside of the legal system of that. But it's, it happens.
But it's a big deal.
Yeah, it definitely happens.
Oh, wow. People earning money all kind of ways.
All types of ways.
Ooh, I'm so out of it. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so go on, educate me some further. Keep saying it.
So, I've been fighting, like I said, for 3 years, and there was this promoter, Mr. Ralph here. He reached out to me saying that he had an opportunity for me to have a fight out in Vegas. And so, he had his assistant reach out, and then they came and checked out one of my fights. I ended up winning that fight, and from that point on, we set up the stuff for Vegas, and I told him I would need my team to come with me, my videographer, my mom.
Wait a minute, you got a whole team?
I got a whole entourage of people that help me.
You trying to be a real fighter. You got the whole game going, entourage and all.
Yeah, I mean, the whole goal is to just continue.
So who do you have on this entourage team, a videographer?
Well, yeah, my mom helps me manage. My brother's my videographer. I have a trainer, a coach, and just, different people around me that help try to keep everything going. Because I have over like 150,000 followers on Instagram, so I just have to keep everything running.
So what kind of money do you earn doing this?
I probably make like $5,000 for each fight.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so now this promoter came, the defendant, he watched you fight. He offered you an opportunity to come and fight in Vegas. And he observed you fight somebody and you won that fight?
Yeah, him and his assistant came and checked out one of my fights, and I won that. And then from there, we started talking about setting up the fight week in Vegas. And I told him, like I said, I needed my whole team to come with me because that's just how I roll.
Okay.
But when I saw him in person, he said that he would cover like anybody I needed.
So your evidence.
I mean, it's in the contract as well. Where he
okay,
said
well, let me see the contract because that statement doesn't say it.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
I can't control what the reason why the airline would be delayed.
Which means that he can't control why he was late.
Can't,
you chose the airline.
But at the same time, he was supposed to be in Las Vegas even
you
before that happened.
You chose the airline.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Tyree Miller, who is suing Simon Ralph for breach of contract.
Promoter will arrange and cover economy class round-trip airfare and hotel accommodations for the fighter, plus up to 6 entourage members. And this is where you got stuck. But if the total cost of the entourage, travel, and lodging exceeds a reasonable threshold.
This is the legal turning point. The phrase reasonable threshold is a contract killer. It's vague, subjective, and dangerously flexible. Courts hate ambiguity, but they punish the drafter, not the signer. Since the promoter wrote this contract, interpretation leans against him. This is Contract Law 101. If you leave wiggle room, don't be shocked when a judge squeezes through it. Viewers, this is why reading is fundamental, especially when money and physical risk are involved.
That's no specific dollar amount.
It didn't put it.
And what's a reasonable threshold is left to the interpretation of him, since he's the promoter. Fighter authorizes promoter to deduct the documented excess from the purse. Fighter agrees that travel logistics must be coordinated with the promoter.
Yeah, and he told me that he would set up the rides, and he never
Well,
did
it's not
that.
in here. It says travel logistics. That's why he left. He specifically stated room, lodging. He specifically stated airfare. But then when he got down to getting there, he said travel logistics shall be coordinated with the promoter. It doesn't say that he's going to do it. That's why reading is fundamental. And now, did you do the fight?
Yeah, so I did the fight. I won. And he said that I was promised $8,000, and it's in the contract saying I'm promised $8,000 if I complete the fight. But once the fight was over, he handed me an envelope. And when I was getting my stuff and I headed to the car, I started counting the money that was in the envelope, and it was only $2,000 and some change, and it was not the $8,000 that he promised me. So that's the whole issue. That's
You
why
know
I'm here
why?
today.
You know what? You know where he got you? Under this part that says, if the total cost of the entourage exceeds a reasonable threshold.
I don't believe it's an unreasonable threshold.
Right, that's left to interpretation, whether it was a reasonable or unreasonable. So what is your total travel expense? What was your total travel expense?
I know he has the receipts to everything.
Okay, back over to you. What was the total cost of travel?
My total cost of travel I spent over about $5,000.
Your total cost?
My total cost, Your Honor. That came out of my pocket.
So you mean, okay, but it's what you paid. I'm asking what was the total cost of travel for him and his entourage?
For the plane, it was over $2,600.
Okay, and that's airfare.
That's airfare.
And what was the hotel?
The hotel, I believe, was over $1,200.
Why are you saying over? You have a receipt?
Yes, I do have the.
Okay, give me
I do have
actual.
that.
I don't need over because
This is Judge Mablean taking control. Courts don't deal in over or about. They deal in receipts, numbers, and proof. When one party starts guessing and the other demands documentation, credibility shifts instantly. This is where promoters often lose ground because business claims without records don't survive scrutiny. And notice how the judge shuts down emotional arguments in favor of math? Justice isn't loud here, it's precise.
I'm not going to go this threshold game with you. I want to see the
Airfare,
numbers.
yes.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying, Your Honor. He just throws out random numbers, and I honestly think he's just a crook. So.
Well,
I think he's been hit in the head too many times, Your Honor.
never heard of this airline, but I guess it comes out of Miami.
I never heard of it either. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. He's just like a janky.
Well, it's
promoter.
real cheap though.
He don't
for all
read
of you all.
contracts and he don't read planes.
So the airfare was $2,655. This doesn't tell me this is what the airfare was. Hotel was $1,128. So you're saying you subtracted all that from his $8,000 purse?
That's right, Your Honor. Plus other expenses such
What
as
other expenses?
Uber rides to and from hotel, to and from airport.
Well, I set the Uber up. He
No.
just sent me like the,
If you would like to see, Your Honor, I have all
login
the
for it.
Hold on.
receipts.
You called the Uber?
I paid for it.
That's what I'm saying. He sent me a login to get the Uber ride.
Oh,
It came out
okay.
of-
So
it came
all
out
right.
of
So you
my
got it
money.
on his card, on his account. So all these rides to and from there.
Not only for him, but also for his family as well. So multiple Uber rides, Uber Blacks.
I just thought we had to ride in style, Your Honor. That's
Yeah,
why.
you did have to ride in style.
Yeah.
But one thing you're going to learn about this game that you're playing and this business that you're in is they give you all that up front, and sometimes they give it to you and pay it, and sometimes they just advance it, and you have to pay it back, and they take it out of your purse.
No, I understand.
So it's not always that they cover it. So you have to make sure that it says that they will pay it. Now, he said he would pay airfare if it was reasonable.
And I don't think it's unreasonable.
To me, the airfare at $333 each from Miami is not an unreasonable fare. So you're not gonna get out of that one because you agreed to pay the airfare reasonable, and that's very reasonable. $333 a person, and you said up to 6 people from Miami per person. That's a very reasonable fare.
Correct, Your Honor. But also the week of the weigh-in, he was not in Vegas. It was a no-show. He was still in Miami. And I had to immediately pay more for last-minute airline tickets.
How'd you pay for last-minute airline tickets?
Your Honor, I think he's just making stuff up now.
Yeah.
The reason why it took me a while
No, I
to
got
get
the
there.
airline tickets. Where's the pay more for weigh-in? I don't see that.
Well, to pay more for the weigh-in, me having to get him to Vegas because
No. Where is the pay more for the weigh-in?
For his airline, for the flights.
That's not weigh-in.
For the weigh-in was in Las Vegas. He was still in Miami the week of the weigh-in when he should have been in Las Vegas.
Because the flight you set up it kept delaying because it was such a cheap airline. So that's not on me. And that's what I'm saying. He came to me.
The flight was delaying.
Yes.
But how? If you got there in time for the fight, the day of the fight,
Well, just, like the weigh-in before and everything.
who set up the airline?
I set up the airline.
You chose the airline.
I chose the airline.
And so if the airline was delayed, whose fault is that?
It's the airline's fault. I can't control what the reason why the airline would be delayed.
Which means that he can't control why he was late.
This exchange exposes sloppy drafting. Up to 6 includes family and less restricted. Courts interpret words as written, not as intended later. If age limits mattered, they should have been included. This isn't technicality, it's fairness. The promoter assumed norms. The contracts promise flexibility. Judges enforce promises, not assumptions.
Can't,
You chose the airline.
But at the same time, he was supposed to be in Las Vegas even
You
before that
chose
happened.
the airline.
Coming up,
As the contract states, Your Honor, it states that the amount of people he's allowed to bring is approved by me.
No, it says up to 6 guests.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Tyree Miller, who is suing Simon Ralph for breach of contract.
Where is this other cost? What about the hotel? The hotel fee doesn't seem to, you said up to 6 people, airline and lodging.
And he didn't argue that either, Your Honor. He agreed to it. So
It's in the contract stating
$261 for 3 nights?
yeah, he also had me in a hotel.
This
me and
doesn't
my
say per
family.
night. It says 3 nights, so that's not an unreasonable amount. What else? Go on.
As the contract states, Your Honor, it states that the amount of people he's allowed to bring is approved by me.
No, it says up to 6 guests.
Up to 6 guests. I never approved all 6 guests. When I've never had a fighter bring his entire family to a fight, it's usually just a trainer, maybe 2 trainers, and that's it.
You said up to 6 entourage members. If the total cost is in excess of a reasonable threshold, then you deduct. And I am telling you that $331 a night, an airfare per person from Miami to Las Vegas was not an unreasonable fare. And I am also telling you that the cost of the hotel was not unreasonable. So what are you telling me that, and how do you get to approve by the fighter? And you said trainers, coaches, family, media. And that's who he brought.
It was more than just trainers and coaches. There was people who weren't, he said he has to pay his entourage and people, his trainers, coaches, those people there that was just simply to be there. His mother asking me for extra money to buy her a new wig. It was all kind of crazy stuff.
Did you do that?
I did do that simply because she was a very good looking lady.
That was a personal dealing. That
But
didn't have anything.
that's between you and her, right?
Coming up,
The hotel is not that far from the airport, Your Honor. $97, that's very unreasonable.
Your ride app fare shows you exactly where he went and shows you what it costs.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Tyree Miller, who is suing Simon Ralph for breach of contract.
So you owe the man.
I need my money. Every cent.
You owe the man. You only paid him $2,000?
Only $2,000.
I agreed to pay it up to amount of people, but then again, he had way more than 6 people, Your Honor.
I think he was just late on rent.
Way
Your Honor.
more
He
than-
just wanted
way
to say
more
that.
Well, you see, wait.
This is where justice becomes arithmetic. The judge isn't emotional. She's methodical. She identifies what was reasonable, what was excessive, and who bears responsibility. Notice how clarity replaces chaos once numbers are locked down. This is what happens when contracts meet courts. Ambiguity gets expensive. This case wasn't about backyard boxing. It was about accountability. Thierry stepped into the ring and honored his contract. The promoter failed to define limits, overextended deductions, and tried to rewrite the deal after the fight was over. Judge Mablean cut through the noise, enforced the language as written, and delivered a ruling rooted in fairness and law. The takeaway is simple. Contract protect those who understand them, and punish those who draft them carelessly. Backhand index pointing right. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.